Good afternoon. Amanda Murray on behalf of Mr. Mesty.
All right. And your name, ma'am?
My name is Janice Luft, Your Honor. I am sorry that I don't have an attorney with me today. I don't mean to be disrespectful of you or the court. I had attorneys in my family, but they've passed away. Paul Bronlick was my uncle's brother. Mark Bronlick is now a judge in Monroe. Bill Bronlick is no longer practicing, but Philip Costello did consult with me yesterday and directed me towards the type of lawyer I should be calling because of the toxic environment in the home that I've been living in that was hidden from me. And I wanted to have these to the court before now, but I wasn't able to. I need to have two teeth orally. Oh, okay.
Buckle up, guys. Today we are diving into a tense courtroom drama that immediately pulls you into the chaos. From the very first second, the defendant begins speaking with vulnerability and urgency, revealing personal struggles, legal confusion, and a sense of overwhelm. The raw emotion sets the stage for the drama to follow, hinting at the conflict, uncertainty, and challenges the court will face while trying to untangle the truth from a torrent of personal grievances.
What are they? What?
Well, I need to have a couple teeth orally extracted. So I have an abscess right now, and on both sides of the upper mouth, an oral surgeon has to remove teeth. My fillings have fallen out. I have a medical report in here from May 23rd, 2022 on Asya Hemesky's birthday, where her friend assaulted me and injured my wrist and hand. And at that time, my weight was 115.
Hold on a moment. So what does, you don't want to just do that.
They're copies.
Copies of what?
There's copies of the assault at the urgent care. There's a copy of the Dexter oral surgeon for the beginning of this month. I haven't done it because I physically am not sure how I'm going to respond to this, and I have to be getting ready to get out. I'm getting my stuff in storage. 2 of the storage units were 2 of 30 that were broken into out on Lower Circle. So that was very upsetting to me. And also there's the activated charcoal radon test that I got from Washtenaw County showing that there were high levels of radon on every level of this 3-story home. So my bedroom was at 16.9 on the lower level, and on the upper level, the next highest room was Asya's.
Can I just do one thing for me?
Okay.
Just take a breath, all right? Because
I have adrenal fatigue. I've been being treated by Dr. Shan Kong for over a year now.
Okay, but the problem is...
In this segment, the defendant spirals into a detailed account of medical emergencies, home hazards, and personal assaults, creating mounting tension. The judge attempts to calm her and refocus the proceedings, illustrating the challenge of maintaining order amidst overwhelming testimony. This part builds suspense because viewers can feel both the human struggle and the courtroom's procedural demands, highlighting the stark contrast between emotional chaos and legal structure.
You're giving me a lot of things. I mean, I think I'm a pretty smart guy, but you're giving me a lot of things that are thrown out of context to me. They're just things now that are just out there.
Well, their meaning behind that is there's more than, I'm not a tenant. I am not a tenant. I brought in, I spent over $100 on color photocopies to show the condition of the house when I moved in, because their attorney is trying to, I've gotten 2 letters saying I better not damage the house. The house should have been condemned before I moved in. They've done things to the house that are wrong, and there's fraud.
Okay.
And I've been poisoned. I've been injured. In 2019, I weighed 128 pounds. Today, I got on the scale before I got showered. I weigh 100 pounds.
So here's the thing. Let's just stop for a moment. And let me just say that I don't have a written answer from you that is alleging, or a counterclaim that's alleging any of the things that I think you're trying to bring before, which then makes it difficult for their side to then answer.
They want to know what they owe me, and I am saying that this, being in the situation I'm in this short of a period of time, it is hard for me to bring that forward and to sit down. But
ma'am, here's the only thing that right now theoretically is before me. They have a termination case
Yeah.
to have you leave the home.
Here, the courtroom pivots as the judge begins methodically clarifying what is actually on trial. The defendant asserts fraud, injury, and injustice, but the judge insists on focusing on the legal scope. The suspense arises from the power struggle. The audience watches a tug-of-war between raw personal experience and the rigid confines of the law. This section is key for grounding viewers in the facts while keeping emotional tension high.
And I said I would. I don't understand this.
Okay.
This is really disruptive to the process of moving out and getting dental care and getting rest.
Okay. So if the issue here is you moving out,
That's what I thought it was.
okay.
And then they're trying to include money and then reaching forward to put a gag order on me.
Well,
I can't do that.
ma'am, hold on. All I have is a possession case.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Well, the letters, from them sound like something else.
Okay.
I might move out this weekend,
not-
swear to God.
Ma'am,
Judge
I am
Simpson.
not privy to those letters.
Oh,
What I have before me is a case where they have sent you notice to vacate the premise.
and I said I would
Okay. Stop there.
last time.
Just for a
Okay,
moment.
okay.
So that then they end up bringing in action so that the court will order you to leave the house if the court finds in their favor.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like on that issue, the parties are in agreement.
Yeah, if I have to sleep in my car, I will. I don't want an eviction on my record. I don't want to stay in their house.
Okay.
But I do want to have a city inspector inspect the home before I leave, so I'm not accused of damaging something that they jury-rigged back in 2015 that has caused utility bills to be really high and has caused radon to be in every room of the three-story house. They had an intake in an unfinished crawl.
Ma'am,
They've left
Ma'am,
sewage
ma'am.
down there.
ma'am,
Okay, it's just about the eviction.
really is. That's what's before me.
Yeah, so, I mean, last time we were here, I said I'd be out.
Now, the spotlight shifts to the critical negotiation over eviction timing. The defendant verbally agrees, but continues justifying her concerns and explaining obstacles. The judge presses for a firm commitment, creating suspense as viewers anticipate whether compliance or conflict will dominate. Every exchange adds tension, demonstrating the delicate balance between legal authority and human resistance.
Okay, so when are you going to move out?
Well, we had said that it was going to be like the 27th, but you might give me 3 days to the end of the month, the 30th. And I keep saying I'll be out by the 30th, and I'll probably be out before then, but it's like it doesn't get heard.
What doesn't get heard?
That I said I'm going to be out.
Okay, so the only one that needs to hear you at this point is me. Okay.
Okay.
So when will you leave?
I will tomorrow I will start looking for an apartment.
Well, but that's not what I'm.
No, I will leave on or before the 30th of June.
Okay.
If you say that's okay. If you tell me I have to do it on the 27th, then I will do it before then.
All right. Why don't you have a seat? And let me hear from the other side is that issue.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is in agreement that she can stay until June 30th. I do want to bring forth before the court that we did file an amended complaint, and that amended complaint does seek monetary amount. For DTE
When
Energy
did you?
on the 24th, May 24th.
Total amount here of $1370.30, correct?
Correct.
That's the amendment to the complaint.
Correct.
All right.
Your Honor, that's not the only amendment. I would
Okay.
just like to note for the court that when this action began, Ms. Humeski was alive. and my client was acting as her power of attorney. She has since passed.
Okay.
The property is owned by the trust. So now he is acting in his capacity as trustee of the trust. So the complaint was amended to correctly reflect in what capacity he was acting and who owned the property as well.
Got it. Okay. But in terms of monetary amounts, we're really talking about this 1,370.
That's what we're talking about, DTE bills. All along there's been no disagreement that there's no lease agreement. She doesn't pay a monthly amount. We're not seeking any type of rental payment. These are costs that...
Tension escalates as the discussion pivots to financial matters. The amended complaint introduces monetary claims against the estate, marking a turning point from personal grievances to measurable stakes. Viewers see the legal and emotional stakes intensify. A simple eviction transforms into a dispute over accountability, money, and fairness. This segment is crucial, exposing the underlying financial drama that amplifies courtroom suspense.
The estate has incurred since she has continued to remain in the property.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Luck, you can remain right where you are. Have you gotten a copy of the amended complaint?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to turn to the page that has the chart on it.
I'm looking at it.
Okay. And it has on there the water bill, energy, and 3 DTE bills.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So let me ask you this. All right. And try to just succinctly answer my question. Of that amount, how much of that amount do you think you owe?
Less than half of it.
Okay. So
The water bill, I think, is the order proceeding.
is what?
I mean, I don't have the actual bills to look at, and the high energy costs on this property is due to the HVAC system her son bought, and DTE has pointed that out regularly. There's issues in the furnace companies I had in November, December, January,
Okay.
pointed out that it's the fault of the system, that they're so high. It's not my fault. And they should be lower because
Okay, but hold on. I didn't ask all this. I didn't ask all this. So,
I'd say less than half. Less than half.
okay, so do me a favor, okay? And all I want is a number. I don't want an explanation behind the number.
Okay.
Just give me a number of the 1,370.
And $700.
My client will accept that.
Okay, so here's what I
But I don't want that to shut me off from any future claims on my payroll and other expenses out of pocket for doing the liner and the crawl, which is upwards, just out of pocket, a couple $1,000. And then to do that work itself, we're looking at $1,000 or $2,000. So they owe me. I want to.
Okay, but hold on. When you say, well, hold on. But when you say they, okay, but you're talking the estate owes you that.
Yeah, because I think if I had a hearing, I could prove that
Okay,
Rick was making a lot of decisions that created toxic.
Okay, but ma'am, just listen to me for a moment.
The judge takes control, demanding a specific figure to settle part of the claim. The defendant hesitates, but eventually provides $700, which the opposing side accepts. This is a pivotal moment where tension resolves briefly, but the pressure to comply and the implications of accountability keep viewers engaged. The segment highlights the courtroom's procedural mechanics while preserving the intensity of real-time decision-making.
you're going to have to make a claim against the estate for the things that you're talking about.
Okay,
Okay? That doesn't happen typically here.
okay,
Okay?
okay.
All right. So what you have here in front of, what I have here in front of me is basically the property kind of itself. If you're talking about services, if you're talking about things that you did or things that should be yours as part of the estate,
Uh-huh,
that happens elsewhere. I didn't want to be that kind of judge, so I'm not.
okay.
Okay? So here's what I'm hearing. And this really would resolve this case. Okay? And that is that you will vacate the premises by the 30th of June, 2023, or a writ of restitution could issue, or an order of eviction, and that you will pay to the plaintiff $700 for utilities.
Yeah,
Can we add by June 30th as well to that?
Can you do that? Can you pay the $700 by June 30th by the
I
time
can
you?
write a check right now and just.
Okay,
put
then we
date
could
on
do-
it and,
We can do that. Then what? Yes,
then I make sure I have the funds in my checking account.
that's fair. So then we can do that, and the judgment could then reflect that a check has been tendered in that amount.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, Asia died on March 31st. And,
Does she have a judgment?
so they're including the March 9th bill. She was still alive, still her property.
Do you have a judgment for?
I don't, Your Honor.
We'll get one.
Thank you.
What were you saying, ma'am?
It doesn't matter.
No,
She
well,
was still alive on March 9th. She died on March 31st. So they included a billing. I'm trying to understand that these are billings from when he became, when she, like after she died, and then he gets the property or something.
okay, but let's look at it this way.
It's okay, 700.
Yeah, because you're not paying the whole amount of the bill, so I don't have to go per diem
Yeah.
on anything. Okay, so I mean, it would seem to me to balance out and do it that way. And I get what you were saying about the water bill, but I think again that's going to kind of balance out because it's
Yeah,
going
I
to either
agree.
be
Yeah.
it's going to balance out.
So that doesn't reach out into any other areas. This is just about the eviction. This is money towards utilities. And I'm fine with that. When I moved in, I asked to pay rent and it was refused, and I did give her 200 cash for utilities. And,
Okay, can you print one?
yeah, she's perfect.
Hurry.
Separately, the, wages that weren't covered, and, there's tax stuff.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. Because I'm not ruling on that, none of that's before me. This is only going to be applied to the possession of the property. So if there's other stuff that you're claiming, that's,
Separate.
I think that's just outside, not anymore, somebody else. You get to go downtown for that. Ma'am? Pardon?
With my friend O'Deal, she's a registration.
It depends on what you want to say, ma'am.
This is the emotional peak of the video. The defendant delivers a heartfelt, impassioned speech about unfair treatment, years of labor, and personal sacrifice. Viewers are drawn into the human element of the courtroom, seeing raw emotion collide with legal structure. The suspense lies not in legal decisions, but in emotional catharsis, giving the audience a deeply personal perspective on the stakes involved.
I just want to say that this woman took care of his mother for 7 years, night and day. And I feel it's not fair the way he's treating her now. It's just not fair.
No, it's not.
I don't think caretaker should be treated that way. I have been a registered nurse for 30 years, and it breaks my heart to see the way this family takes care of this caretaker.
All right, thank you.
It's really not fair.
I do have a check dated today in the amount of $700 from the defendant. I will state on the record that my client will not cash that check today.
All right,
We'll cash it after tomorrow.
okay, all right. I think Monday's a bank holiday, so. Well, you can do it Saturday, I guess.
It was the matter of, before I move out, since twice it's suggested in letters that I might damage the property, I'd like to have a building inspector look at the property.
Okay, typically that's not how it's done, okay? So typically what's going to occur is there'll be a move out, they may do a walkthrough to inspect, they see something that might, how long have you been in the premises?
6 years cleaning up and fixing it.
Okay, all right. So if they see something that might be beyond ordinary wear and tear, then there's a whole procedure by which they, and statutory scheme that they would have to claim that. So there really isn't going to be a need for an inspector prior to your leaving. That doesn't mean that if you want to call the city of Ann Arbor and they can get out there before the 30th,
I can do that.
you can. All right. But I'm not making it part of this decision in this case that happens.
Here, the judge confirms the eviction timeline and financial agreement, providing closure to the case. The courtroom tension resolves, leaving viewers satisfied with procedural and emotional outcomes. This segment ties together the legal, financial, and personal threads, demonstrating how law and human experience intersect. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.